Hey, welcome back! In this video, we'll design an icon for our app. The icon represents your app in the App Store and on the home screen of your customer's phone. It is important that it is consistent with the identity of your app and the iOS style so it doesn't look weird among all the other icons. You want to create something that is simple, that will speak clearly to the users, that will represent your app and stand out on the home screen. Let's have a look at the iOS icons. They're pretty straightforward. The Mail app icon is an envelope, the music player a couple of notes. Finding one simple graphic element that represents your app is a good way of designing a cool and effective icon. The easiest way for us to do that is to use our central tab icon. It's good because it clearly represents a camera for users who don't know the app. And for users who do know and use the app, it will remind them the call to action inside the app. It's also a simple, yet original geometric shape, thus there is little risk that details will look weird or blurred when the icon is scaled down. Open the icon template and the app design file in the folder of this lesson. As you can see, there is a grid that you can hide or unhide here. Apple developed a golden ratio grid system, which can be used to size and align elements on your icon correctly. But feel free to break rules if your icon looks better without taking care of the new grid system. We'll start by duplicating this artboard, so select it in the left panel, hold Alt and drag and drop it next to the first one. You can fold the first one. Open the official grid folder and select the icon edge. Duplicate it by holding Alt and dragging and dropping it just below the background, like this. Then right-click on it and select User's Mask. We'll change the color of the background to our usual base color, to E5286. And we'll copy-paste the camera icon from this file. Let's zoom in a little bit. And open the navigation folder, bottom bar, icons, the camera, copy and paste. Let's make it bigger, center it. Now hold Alt and Shift at the same time while dragging the handle to make it bigger until the borders of the circle in the center of the camera reaches the border of the small circle of the grid. Zoom in. We'll check the diameter of, we'll hide this, we'll check the diameter of this inner circle, 384, and let's have a look on our icon. Alright, this is a little bit too big, so we'll resize the icon a little bit, maybe with one less pixel for the width and the height. Yes, we're good. 384. Let's make sure it is correctly aligned. Okay. So we have an icon, just make sure that it is the right size, width and a height of 686 pixels. We'll change the corner radius of this rectangle, it's a square actually, to 20 pixels. That looks better. Let's hide the grid for now. We'll also change the corner radius for this one to 10 pixels. And we'll do the same thing for this shape, 15 pixels, but as usual we don't want these two corners to be rounded, so we'll select them and click on the straight point mode. Just to remind you, when you want to enter the vector editing mode, you have to double click on the shape like this, or you can select it in the left panel and then press enter. Okay. this looks okay, but let's play around a little bit to see how we could make it better. So duplicate this artboard, and we'll start by changing the color of the background to a gradient that will go from, let's say, 5591 C4 to the color we used previously. Okay, why not? Duplicate the first artboard again. Let's rename them first. Camera icon and camera icon gradient. You want to duplicate the first one, the camera icon. And we'll try a long shadow. The shadow drain is a bit of a joke, but it can still look good, and if you want to know more about it, read this article about long shadow design, see what it looks like. The link is in the description. Okay, so zoom in, and we'll start by creating a rectangle. We'll make it black, 50% opacity. Make sure it is below the icon like this, and we'll rotate it. Make sure to hold shift when you rotate the rectangle. We'll resize it. Maybe something like this. Okay. You want to roughly position the two corners of the rectangle just below the two corners of the camera. Now double click on the rectangle and we'll add a vector point over here. Drag it over here. And change the point mode to straight. Okay. Okay, why not? This is fun. Finding a graphic element might not be always that easy, but avoid using iOS UI elements or elements from iOS icons. If you do, your icon will probably end up looking, not very original. If you don't have any graphic idea, or if what you've come up with doesn't look good, the easiest thing to do is to design an icon following Facebook's example. The first letter of the name of your app with the right font with your main color as the background. So let's try this. We'll rename that one camera icon long shadow. Okay. So duplicate the camera icon artboard and place it here. You can get rid of the camera icon and press T and write I. Okay, this is very small. Where is it? Change the size to something much bigger, 900. And you want to select the correct tab face, which is Billabong, like this. Let's change the color to white and center it like this. This is a very easy but effective alternative if you don't have any other ideas. Let's see how we could make it better. Maybe we can try the same things that we try with the camera. Let's rename it I. Okay, so duplicate this artboard. Select the background of this icon, right click on it, select copy style, right click on the background of this icon and paste style. Okay. So this is the eye gradient. You want to duplicate this artboard again, place it here. Okay, so this might be a bit more complicated. Let's try. Draw a rectangle. Change the color to a semi-transparent black. Put it below the eye in the left panel. Select rotate. You might not need to hold shift this time because this is going to be a bit special, I think. Okay, let's see. Okay, so that's the first step. We'll duplicate this rectangle once it's in place. I'll show you later why. So copy paste it and drag it over here outside the artboard so we can start working on that one. Double click or select in the left panel or press enter to enter the vector edit mode. We'll add a vector point over here, another one here, another one over here, another one like that. And now we'll use that rectangle. Resized it. Make sure it is below the eye as well. I want to do something like this. No, this one. And now what we need to do is merge these two layers. And we're good. Let's rename it eye long shadow. Okay. You can fold these artboards. If you feel inspired, you can also try more complex shapes, and we'll do that by creating a flat version of the current Instagram logo. So, duplicate this artboard, the camera icon. You can fold that one. Let's call it Instagram. We'll get rid of this icon, we don't need it. We're going to change the background color to DBC6A2, and we'll unhide the grid. We'll start by drawing a circle which will be the exact size of this circle, so let's see. It has a diameter of 544 pixels, okay. Center it like this. We'll change the color to E8 DCC7. We'll draw another circle. Oh, I forgot to press enter when entering the Xcode. Let me write it again quickly. So we'll draw another circle. Let's make it a bit bigger. Yeah, something like this. So it's 424 pixels. We'll change its color to. Okay. And we're going to draw another circle. This one will be a small one, so something like 98 should be fine. And we'll change the color to a semi-transparent white, so select white and an alpha of 30%. Now let's group these. This will be the lens. Put it below the grid so we can see it. And we're going to move this small circle and make sure it is just aligned with the inner circle, like this. Now let's draw a square the size of the bigger circle, so a width and a height of 544. Press R, hold Shift and enter 544 pixels, center it, change the color to white 10%, put it inside the camera group over here. We can hide the grid for now. Enter the vector mode and get rid of this point, so we'll keep a right triangle, and select the bigger circle and right click on it, select select only this circle and use as mask. Now we'll draw another rectangle with a width of 1024 pixels, and for the height we'll divide this by 3 and let's add 1 pixel to have an even number, like this, and we'll change the color to brown 935B 3B. Okay, let's put it below the lens. Let's take care of the colors now. We'll draw 4 rectangles with a width of 60 pixels. So you can draw one and then duplicate it 3 times. Make sure they're well aligned next to each other. Okay, you can group them. We'll call that group colors and hide the grid. And make sure that this group is just against the white line on the left. If you're not sure, let's check the x coordinates of this line. This will be the left one. Let's see, yes, this is the one. And x 64. So yeah, 64 for the group. That's good. Now let's change the colors of these rectangles. We'll start with the one on the left. This one will be F003C. This one will be FD500. Next one 008190. and the last one 14A0EA. Here we go. We can drag this group just below the lens as well and put the rectangle inside the group at the bottom and use it as a mask. Okay. Let's take care of the viewfinder now. We'll draw a square of 180 pixels. Let's make sure it is correctly aligned, something like this. We'll give it a radius of 14 pixels. We'll change the color to this color. Okay. Or maybe what we can do is put it inside the colors and we'll line it with the brown rectangle. So select the two and click this one, align vertically. Now let's make sure that the margin is correct. Okay, so we have an 81 pixel margin at the top and a 107 pixels margin on the right, so we need to change that. We'll move it 26 pixels towards the right, 82, 81. So the coordinates of your shape should be 764 and 81. Let's now draw a circle with diameter that would be maybe a bit bigger than this. 150 might be good. Make sure it is well centered inside the shape. In order to do that, you need to put it in the colors. Let's change the name of this group to top and group these four into a group called colors. You can have groups inside groups, that's pretty useful. We'll hide the grid. Okay. We'll change the fill to white, an opacity of 30%. We'll add another circle, a small one this time, maybe 40 pixel. And same thing, white, opacity 30%. Okay, last thing we can do on this icon is add a shadow to the lens. So we need to have a rectangle and it should have a width that is the size of the diameter of this big circle, which is 544. I mean the height of 534, not the width. And we'll rotate this, hold shift, we'll change the fill to gradient, but you don't want to have the points on these sides. You want the first point on this side and the second one on that one. You can make sure it is in the middle. The first color will be black with an alpha of 10%, and the second color will be, oh, that was the second one actually. So the first color needs to be black, 10%, and one at the bottom is Y, 0%. So place this shadow below the lens. And make sure it is well positioned. Okay, let's see how we could add a few stuff or maybe remove a few stuff from this icon. We'll duplicate the Instagram artboard and hold on, let's tidy this up a little bit before. This needs to go here, and we'll group these two. Viewfinder. This is the shadow. Let's do the same thing quickly over here. Okay. Now let's duplicate the icon edge and the background. We'll group them, hide it, and change the color of this background. Instead of changing the color here, we'll add a fill to make it a bit darker, but not a gradient, a color. We want it to be black, 10%, like this. And now resize the icon edge so that it looks a bit embossed. So this will be Instagram embossed. Let's put this one at the top and this two at the bottom. Now duplicate this artboard and we'll try one last thing. Try to do something a bit different. So draw 4 rectangles with a height of 70 pixels. We can draw one and then duplicate it 3 times. Change the color by using the magnifying glass and selecting the colors from these rectangles. Group them, call them colors, center it well on the artboard, and put the group below the lens. And for the top folder, get rid of the colors and make this rectangle a bit bigger. Okay, this is an idea. Maybe we can make it even more simple by, let's call it redesign. So maybe we can make it even more simple by deleting this brown thing. Colors. Oh, it's in tab. Toggle. And let's see if we can go even further. And because I love simplicity, we'll finish by getting rid of the viewfinder. We could continue like this for hours, but at some point you have to stop and decide. But for the purpose of this course, try to work on 1 or 2 ideas of your own. It can be small adjustments, like changing the colors or the sizes of some elements, or if you feel like it, redesigning the entire icon. I'd love to see what you come up with. A couple more pieces of advice. Avoid using transparency when designing your icon. It will probably end up looking weird. And once you're done, test the icons on different backgrounds. Also, let me show you how to export and preview your icon. What you need to remember is that you need to export without the masks. So we'll open all these and uncheck the user's mask. I'll show you why. When iOS displays an app icon on the home screen of a device, it automatically applies a mask that rounds the corners. This is why the image to provide Apple must be a square. These bounded corners that we have in our sketch file are only here to show you how the icon will look like. Let's rename this quickly. So, once you got rid of the masks, click the Export button and click on Export All, and I'll save them on my desktop, save them wherever you want. Once you have all your exported images, you can get rid of that one because we don't need it, and go to wearemothership.com/work/prepo, download the app by going to the Mac App Store. I already have it on my computer, but you need to install it. Once it's installed, you can open it. And this is going to be pretty easy. Select all your images, drag them here, and we'll select only iOS 7. Click on the icon 76, or the icon 60, sorry, and you should be able to see the different icons on an iPhone. You can also preview your icons on your real iPhone, but you have to upgrade to the premium version of Prepo. To end this video, I just want to show you this website, afterios7icon.tumblr.com, where you should be able to find some inspiration for your icons. Enjoy designing your icon, and again, don't hesitate to post or to send me your designs. See you soon!